CIGTV News Brief, Community News and Weather Forecast, I'm Donna Bush.
So I'm immensely proud of my colleagues from Cayman Islands Fire Service who have worked tirelessly over the past 24 hours. A challenging fire on our landfill site. Working with colleagues from the Department of Environmental Health, Hazard Management, National Roads Authority, the Ministry for Home Affairs and Financial Services. We've had a real team approach to, in the first 24 hours, stop this fire from spreading beyond the boundaries of the landfill site, which we've done successfully. Of course, I understand the impact on local businesses and residents, and for that, we're sorry, and we're trying to minimise that impact by working tirelessly to extinguish the fire. That assurance I can give to the residents and businesses in this facility that we will bring this fire completely under control and extinguish it as soon as we possibly can. But you must understand that this is a challenging fire. The wind conditions that we've got are fanning smoke and flames, and the fire is over 3 fronts. So in fire service terms, we've sectorised, and we are working on those 3 fronts to extinguish.
Just to assure the public that we're doing our utmost best to make sure that this fire is kept under control. And we also want to ensure everyone that our normal operations in terms of regular collection of garbage continues. So if there's a little delay in terms of collections, just please bear with us. We'll get past this, but we'll do our best to continue operations. As you can see from behind me, that the landfill is somewhat remain operational. It's just one side of it, that the northwest corner, that's on fire, and we're managing that. But like I said just now, our operation are continuing, and we will make sure that we keep our residential collection and our commercial collections on time and on target.
The Cayman Islands Fire Service, Department of Environmental Health, and Royal Cayman Islands Police Service remain on site at the Georgetown landfill. Crews working at the landfill have now been able to focus their efforts on the largest sector of the fire that broke out early Sunday. The fire quickly escalated because of strong winds, as previously reported, posing a challenge for fire crews as a smoke plume remained visible for miles on Sunday and Monday. Now, local crews have been working nonstop to get the fire under control and are being called heroes.
I was here with them for about 5 hours last night and early into the morning, and believe you me, this looked like hell. It's incredibly improved since then, and the risks that they take to ensure that the rest of us are able to live comfortably is something I think many of us just take for granted. It is only when there are occasions such as this that we realize how truly valuable they are. And they've done an incredible job.
Sure. I mean, first of all, let me just say I do understand that this is a very worrying situation for everybody. But I do think we need to pay tribute to our firefighters, to the police, to DEH. They've done a heroic job in a very difficult situation. The weather conditions made it very, very challenging, and it's really difficult out there. But they're doing their utmost to contain the fire, reopen roads, and try and get everybody back to conducting their business as normal. So I just want to say a huge thank you on behalf of everybody on the islands for the outstanding job that the fire officers and the emergency services have been doing.
As mentioned, the northbound lane of the Esterly Tibbetts Highway was open from 4 to 6:30 on Monday evening to avoid too much of a gridlock during rush hour traffic for those traveling from home. Now, the RCIPS report that southbound lanes will remain closed due to ongoing visibility issues caused by smoke coming from the Georgetown landfill fire. Now, the speed limit in this area will be reduced to 30 miles per hour. Some traffic congestion is still expected. For the latest on the landfill fire, you're encouraged to go online to the Cayman Islands government's Facebook page, and you can watch the entire briefing on CIGTV and the CIGTV YouTube channel tonight at 8 o'clock. Now, will schools remain closed tomorrow? We asked that you check in with all government channels to get an update on that later this evening from education officials. Now, while crews deal with the landfill fire, health officials have the latest on COVID-19 or the coronavirus.
The piece of information that's additional today is that we're sending some samples to CARFA for testing. There are 5 samples that are being sent. We send samples to CARFA on Mondays and Thursdays, which is part of our agreement with CARFA. Clearly, they manage samples from across the Caribbean. and it's also an agreement with our courier. 4 of the samples that we're sending to CARFA are from residents with recent travel histories. They have returned from travel and have developed some symptoms, so out of caution, they've been in contact with the Public Health Department, who've asked them to stay in the confines of their own home, and they are complying with very well with the guidance that they're being given. The last sample that we're sending is being sent from Hull City, Cayman Islands. This is from a patient who originally had a cardiac event on one of the cruise ships, which was not related at all to any respiratory conditions. I understand there was a pre-existing cardiac issue with this particular person, and he was getting a lot better. But in the course of the recovery, he suffered some complications which are not unusual for this sort of condition. So it's really out of a lot of caution that we're sending this sample to CARFA. We will wait for those results to come back. They tend to take between 5 and 7 days to come back. But I think everybody needs to bear in mind that we will test our index of suspicion is much higher now, particularly with travellers, because the numbers of countries around the world are growing day by day, as we know. And now, in fact, the majority of countries in the world have cases of COVID. So because of that, we will begin to send a lot more tests. If you look at the United Kingdom, for example, they've tested some 20,000 people. But of those 20,000 people, there are only around 200 that have been positive. So for every 100 tests that you're going to do, you're only going to come back with 1 positive. But we do not wish to make any mistakes. We wish to be on top of the situation. So we are being as cautious as we think is right in order to make sure that we detect anybody that might have COVID and that we contain it as well.
You can watch the full interview with Dr. Lee on the Cayman Islands government's Facebook page, as well as the CIG television YouTube channel and the broadcast channel tonight following the landfill fire media briefing. Meantime, a reminder to regularly wash your hands with soap and water or with an alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water is not available to you, covering coughs and sneezes with a tissue if available or flexed elbow as necessary, and maintaining social distance, that is 3 to 6 feet of distance in between 2 persons. These things may seem insignificant, but they have been proven to prevent infections, says Dr. Samuel Williams of the Public Health Department. Again, for more information on COVID-19 or for guidance on how to best protect your household, you can go online to hsa.ky or contact the HSA toll-free hotline. That's 1-800-534-8600. That's 1-800-534-8600. Details of the steps that government is taking to combat the disease is also available at gov.ky. Now for a check on other community stories making Radio Cayman headlines this Monday. Following the success of her first book, I Am Enough, Caymanian-American actress and author Grace Geely Byers has released a new children's book titled I Believe I Can. Grace says the book is all about empowering young boys and girls to believe in themselves. Grace, who first entered the spotlight with her breakout role on Fox's hit TV show Empire, will now be seen on Amazon's comedy series. For these and other Radio Cayman stories, you can go online to radiocayman.gov.ky. Turning now to the forecast from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Strong northeasterly winds and rough seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system over the eastern U.S. moves to this western Atlantic Ocean. Today's high temperature reached 79 degrees, the low 74, with partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 20% chance of showers, which you saw this morning. Winds are from the northeast, 20 to 25 knots. Sea conditions are rough with wave heights of 7 to 9 feet. Now, a small craft warning does remain in effect for boaters. For more on local weather, you can go online to weather.gov.ky for the latest forecast. You can also download the National Weather Service's app, that's CINWS. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. If you happen to have missed it, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush. Have a great night.